It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
And this is It's Movie Time. And boy, it was only a few years ago when Sicario first came out.
2015.
Yep, and you and I were the two people who really loved that movie.
Oh, I loved it so much. Loved it so much.
So now Sicario, which in the cartel language means hitman.
Mm-hmm.
And then Soldado, it's
Soldier.
Is the soldier, right? So hitman, soldier. How does that fit?
Well, I guess because he's gone from being solo to being with a group, and see how well that works out for him.
For him, meaning
Benicio del Toro.
Oh yes. What a great character he plays.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he's an agent. He was a former probably assassin for the cartel. I mean, he's played several roles.
Yeah.
And you can't count on him, really.
Yes. And it's also, I love Benicio del Toro. And then he won an Oscar for Traffic, and then he went through a phase where he did roles that I thought were beneath him. Mainly The Wolfman. That broke my heart. With Emily Blunt, actually.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and then he came back strong. And when I watched Sicario, not only did I think that I thought Josh Brolin would be nominated for an Oscar, and I thought Benicio del Toro would win one. And then the movie came in with no Oscar nominations, which broke my heart.
Right.
But I was really excited to see the two of them come back for the sequel. I was sorry not to see Emily Blunt.
Yes, and I thought that the film seriously missed her.
Yes, I agree.
Because I thought that they underplayed that young girl, the daughter of the Kingpin.
Yes.
Who I thought had all kinds of promise.
I thought so too. She's so expressive with her face. Isabella Moner, who is from Cleveland, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, she just, really strong, tough, and expressive with her face, and she did a great job. And I remember thinking about a third of the way through the film, like, okay, I guess we do have another really strong female lead. But
yes, yeah, right.
They didn't give her enough opportunity.
No, they did not.
No.
So we're not really talking about drug dealing here. Are we going across the border? We're really talking more about terrorists. They're not.
It's interesting. I think so Taylor Sheridan wrote again. He is one of the greats. I mean, he hasn't done enough to really rank up there with the Coen brothers, but he did Sicario. He did Hell or High Water.
Oh yes.
And he did Wind River.
Yes.
And now this, and so that's a pretty great track record. But I feel like his story lacks the punch and the point of the first one. The first was really a peek behind the drug wars. This one, they suggest that you can make more money moving terrorists across the border.
Yes.
But and they open with some very moving, troubling scenes of terrorism, and then they just disregard it. They forget it completely. And they never circle back to it. And then toward the end of the movie, like, maybe that's not really what happened. I felt like the purpose of the story was watered down at best.
Yes. And there's some of the kind of standard trope. It's they kidnap the daughter of the Kingpin to get at the Kingpin. Okay, so we got that. But we don't even see the Kingpin.
I know, that was a little troubling
Don't
as well.
you think? I understand. Maybe they're saying, all right, this time we don't need to have some goofy guy be the big Kingpin. I can see what they're thinking is.
Right.
But I really felt that I wanted to see who this person was.
Not only that, I think it's tough to get away with a movie like this where there's actually no villain. And I think maybe the idea was that it's the moral ambiguity among our heroes is supposed to be, I guess, maybe villainous enough. But I also think that was really underplayed in this film.
Wonderful.
And in one of the instances, Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's character is fascinating in Sicario. The way that they introduce him, he's just so affable, and at the same time making these horrifying, villainous decisions in his flip-flops and his t-shirts,
sitting with all the suits, and he's just so different from them.
And he's not so much in this one. You don't get that flippant side. And Josh Brolin. Is anybody having a better year than Josh Brolin, by the way?
The New York Times had a whole spread on him.
That's amazing.
I know, he did. But, I thought also, again, the loss in this film of Benicio del Toro, because the whole business of transporting the young girl seems to be more process.
I agree with you. We didn't get enough character out of him. We got
Exactly.
too much just the the machinations.
Yes.
This is what has to happen next to move our story along.
The fact that he can sign was interesting.
Yeah.
But that was the most we get. Very little interaction
Yeah.
with the girl.
Yes.
Really.
And I think that was one of the great elements of the first movie was when he and Emily Blunt's character did have conversations.
Yes.
And you learn so much about him, and their chemistry was so odd. And there was none of that with the girl.
And is there anything hope in here that would remind us of our current, what is it? No, what do we call it? Zero?
Yeah, zero tolerance.
About the zero tolerance. I mean, this was made before we became really aware.
It's true.
And I think there's one point where, obviously here, she's separated.
She is.
In a metaphoric sense from her father.
Right.
So can there be? But I didn't see anything.
No. At one point they say that they put the children on a separate bus, and I remember wondering if that was a comment.
Yes.
But it didn't even make any sense, honestly.
One of the strengths that Denis Villeneuve had in the first one
was Roger Deakins.
Was Roger Deakins for sure. We don't have Roger here, but we do have them attempting.
Yeah, Dariusz Wolski was the cinematographer for this one, and he's done some great stuff, but he doesn't have 4 Oscar nominations. I mean, he's just not, and that was, I think, one of the most compelling elements of the first movie was that it was, for all of its breathtaking brutality, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
There's just this liquid camera, it was gorgeous to watch.
Particularly the aerial shots.
Yeah.
With the helicopters. And they do try it. There are 3 Humvees, I think, going along into the dust, which is kind of an interesting film where they can't see anything.
But that's all, right? There's just the one sort of visceral action piece.
Yes.
Stefano Sollima is the director, and he's done mostly mob TV.
Yeah, an Italian.
And it's just a little too workmanlike. I mean, the previous one, the hands that movie was in, really brilliant visionary work. And the second one suffers from a little bit lesser of a script and quite a bit lesser in terms of direction, cinematography.
It reminds me, Taylor Sheridan also is writing and directing a new TV show.
Right, Yellowstone, right?
Yes.
I only know that because I saw it on IMDb today.
Right,
I did not realize.
So once again,
Young, need to look into it.
Was an actor.
Yeah.
And now is a writer and director.
Yeah.
This is really good. The good thing about Sicario, and I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it, and as much as we had to wait to see it last night with all our technical difficulties, I'm glad we did, because it brings home to me the ambiguities involved in our war on drugs and immigration and so on. And this film, in both iterations, has shown me that there's no easy answers, and that in fact sometimes the rogueness of Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro may be the only answer. Who knows? I mean, there are no stops.
Well, you know what I thought? So the great Catherine Keener is in this film, and she has one amazing line that I thought summed everything up. And Josh Brolin's character is arguing with her because of decisions that the administration is making.
Yes.
And he says, this is why nothing changes. And she was like, you think we're in this for change?
I know.
You've done this for too long to think we're trying to change anything.
And you remind me how little she's used in this film.
It's true.
She is so great. So it really is all about that mashup on the borders. They do have, and I thought was characteristic of the first Sicario, and we have it again here, that smashing opening. Mm-hmm. In this case, you're following with the lights.
Yeah.
All the poor migrants, and the one who blows himself up. Mm-hmm. And then, as you mentioned, they're in Kansas City blowing up.
Yeah, that was quite a scene.
Wow.
Yeah, that was quite a scene.
With a mother asking for mercy for her daughter.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's very, very moving. Yeah, but again, as you said in the original, that raid in the opening sequence, when you had no idea what you were in for when you watched this movie, and that raid in the opening sequence, you just thought, I don't know that I can watch this for 90 minutes, you know?
I know. Yeah. Well, it's summer entertainment. It's escapism.
It's a little edgier than the other summer entertainment out there right now.
You got it, and there's something about it that's a little too real for me.
Yeah, I know.
Hope Madden, the film is Sicario, Day of Soldado. Hope Madden, the film is Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Day of the Soldado.
Oh, Day of the Soldado. In fact, he changed it to Sicario to Soldado. Somebody else has changed it, but originally, yes. So, Hope Madden, the film is Sicario, Day of the Soldado. What grade would you award it?
B minus.
All right, and I'm going to give it a B. I think we have a good B film for the summer.
Yeah.